Hello, my name is Spiro Theopoulos, and I'm a project manager professional certified by the Project Management Institute, a partner of PMC, and a holder of various Microsoft certifications such as a Certified Professional designation. And in this video, I will demonstrate how the Microsoft PPM solution can support organizations that have adopted or are considering adopting the Agile project management methodology, but want or need a governance framework to help them effectively organize and manage their work. Let's start by selecting the type of project we want, or in an Agile environment, what we call a user story. In passing, just a small note, a user story is not a type of project, it's a functional increment, so we can make do that Microsoft names these selection as enterprise project types. We give a user story a name, provide a start date, and any other fields of information associated or required so that we may facilitate our reporting needs later, like with a burned down chart. In the background, PPM begins to put our Agile initiative in place, leveraging templates, which enables us to quickly begin planning and capturing the project's requirements, and then ultimately delivering on those requirements. On this screen that we call the Project Center, we can view, report on, and gain access to either of our Agile and or Waterfall initiatives. In the Project Center, we have the possibility to display the information and status of our portfolio of initiatives and convey it through various views that lend themselves to an organization's governance framework and or users' interest effortlessly. In this scenario, I have a view that groups user stories by their respective epochs. The sky's the limit in PPM. We can organize our information in any manner we choose, so if we want to introduce and or group artifacts or objects as capabilities and or value streams, then all that is possible given the broad and extensive and rich functionality of PPM. We can proceed now to edit one of these user stories in Microsoft Project Professional, which is just one of our editing interfaces that we have in our arsenal. Project Professional is a very powerful and responsive scheduling engine that has the familiar Microsoft look and feel to it, with ribbons and toolbars that are easy to use and customize. Here on the Scrum template instructions canvas, it has been set up to display the project status of 3 sprints, showing us that half of the first one is completed, and there's a burn down chart. We also have buttons set up to allow you to go and navigate directly here to the various details. These are examples of how templates that you and your organization can implement to help facilitate not only the use, but the transition and adoption of PPM. Now let's go to the sprint details. Note that a sprint is specific to Scrum. The more generic and commonly used Agile word is iteration. In the sprints view, we have the list of features that are part of the user story. In the scalable Agile framework environment, also known as SAFe, and in many other Agile approaches, features contain user stories. Details typically include story priority, activity size, story points, that is, team velocity, story work, duration, and the respective percentage complete. And on the right side of our table, we have the Gantt representation of each of our features grouped by the 3 sprints. Note the first sprint has delivered on its first feature and halfway through its second one, and the third one still to be worked on. We can isolate the sprint backlog by navigating to the view using our custom Agile ribbon. Next, we'll show how easy it can be to create a 4th sprint. We can do this in PPM using the product backlog view, choosing which features we want to address in this 4th sprint. Again, you see PPM can support Agile. Here, the features have been entered with the respective priority, size, points, and work. We'll go ahead and select the first 20 points worth of features, assuming that this is the project's team velocity, and we will assign those to sprint 4. And in addition, we can establish the sequence in which we want to execute them. Before moving on to review the results of our actions, let's add a new feature to the bottom of the backlog list. We'll give the feature a name. We'll select one of the 3 story priority values. Something else to note here is that in Agile products, a product owner prioritizes the product backlog that could have, let's say, 50 features. Those priorities could range from example 1 at the top of the list to 50 at the bottom of the list, as opposed to the high, medium, low I'm using here. And an activity size, or task size for that matter. Story points and story work values here have been computed automatically given our inputs. Before navigating back to the sprints view to show you the results of the edits that we have made here, I'm going to refresh the current product backlog view by using the Control shortcut, Control F3. Doing so will cause the new feature, feature 22, to be sorted under its respective priority. and that the features we assigned to Sprint 4 have disappeared now that they are assigned to a sprint and no longer to our backlog. It should be noted that just because a feature or user story is assigned to a sprint or iteration, it's still in the product backlog. The product backlog represents the entire vision of the product. That is, the status of the feature or user story will change by showing it assigned and committed to a sprint or iteration. So perhaps I've taken some liberties here in this demonstration, but the message is clear. PPM is flexible enough that it can definitely accommodate any nuances that may exist and be adjusted accordingly. Now in the sprints view, notice that our 4th sprint is now being displayed along with the previous 3 sprints. Again, simple stuff, right? In PPM, maintaining the progress of these projects up to date can also be executed with ease. Again, given the broad capabilities and options in PPM, there are several collaboration options that exist to accomplish this. Progress information can be captured directly from your teams, manually or electronically, using a variety of interface options like its own time reporting interface, Microsoft's Visual Studio Team Foundation server, Dynamics, or any other third-party add-on and/or financial line of business system. Again, the sky is the limit even in this area of capturing and communicating your portfolio status. For demonstration purposes, we'll mark feature number 9 here that is currently shown to be 50% to 100%. And feature number 2, I will update it as well with a 25% complete. Returning to our initial dashboard view, you can see that the status has been updated. Notice the progress bar in the histogram for Sprint 1 and the addition of Sprint 4. This pretty much brings us full circle in that the Agile-based edits and artifacts we entered earlier and easily manipulated are available now to provide feedback in real time through easily accessible dashboards. Furthermore, making changes to these charts and the data that they display is also intuitive and simple by using the icons next to them, such as the filter icon. We hope you enjoyed the demonstration on how Microsoft's PPM solution can in fact be used to support Agile project management. If you would like more help with Scrum, Scalable Agile framework, and/or Waterfall for that matter, or need guidance to implement these things efficiently and effectively, then feel free to contact us. We encourage you to subscribe if you have not already done so, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for future videos aimed at providing even more insight on how we and Microsoft's PPM solutions and our partners can help optimize your investment and performance in this area, and to give us the opportunity to provide you with our experience and knowledge of the best practices. Thanks, and I look forward to having you share your comments and likes. We hope that this video and our PMC support will help you have a better project experience.